Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Rolene Marks, and welcome to the Israel Brief, brought to you by Lay of the Land. The Israel Brief brings you the news from Israel and surrounds every Monday to Thursday, and you can find us on our website at www.layoftheland.online. We're on Facebook at Lottel Site, YouTube at The Israel Brief, and on Twitter at Lay of the Land 5. But let's get into the top stories. And the world woke up this morning to news that Russia had declared war on the Ukraine. Now, we're not going to bring you all the headlines here with regards to the Ukraine, but we will be bringing you the Israeli perspective. So this morning, our foreign minister, our defense minister, and our prime minister were in consultations and will be in a series of consultations monitoring the security situation on the ground for Israeli citizens throughout the crisis. What we do know is the following. Israeli citizens, and there is an estimated 8,000 of them, have been advised to go west. And according to sources in our embassy that has been moved from the capital Kiev, which is under heavy bombardment, to Lvov, there have been many Israelis looking to evacuate. We do know that the airspace is closed to commercial airlines and that any evacuations have to take place via land-based evacuations. We know that Israel has managed to secure several safe border crossings in various countries, including Poland and Romania, and we hope to announce later today that Monrovia is included amongst the countries offering safe passage. Israel has also offered humanitarian aid with immediate effect to the Ukrainians. And of course, there is a lot of concern for the very big Jewish community in the Ukraine, which numbers at an estimated 200,000. Speaking to a Chabad emissary earlier today, the Times of Israel reported that rabbis have elected to stay in the Ukraine and stay with their congregants. Many report using their synagogues as places of shelter for members of the Jewish community and Ukrainians desperately seeking shelter from the military invasion. The Chabad rabbi went on to say that they have sandbagged their synagogue around the windows, and for many people they are concerned where they will get their next meal from. Yesterday, Israel's foreign ministry supported Ukrainian sovereignty over its territories, but earlier today, our foreign minister Yair Lapid condemned the Russian invasion of the Ukraine. He also went on to say that Israel is offering humanitarian aid and that Israel as a country knows what it is like to endure war, and there is hope that this diplomatic crisis can be resolved soon. In response to that, Russia at the United Nations assailed Israel for our annexation of the Golan Heights, saying that that is an infringement on international law. Meanwhile, the Israeli Pilots Association have offered their aid to any international pilots who might be stranded in the Ukraine. So these are the updates coming from Israel's side. We know that so far there have been many casualties sustained, both civilian and army. What we did find quite interesting earlier today was Russia saying they want to ensure the denazification of the Ukraine, forgetting, of course, that the president of the Ukraine, Vladimir Zelensky, is in fact Jewish. And in a rebuttal to that, Zelensky compared the Russians to Nazi Germany. So while we won't be bringing you the blow-by-blow accounts in the Ukraine, what we will be doing is continuing to bring you the Israeli perspective. Yesterday, at the United Nations Security Council, Israel's ambassador to the UN, Gilad Erdan, offered a harsh rebuke to the Palestinian ambassador who was wearing an End Israeli Apartheid face mask, saying that this was an absurd and libelous and heinous attack on Israel. Dan also had harsh words for the Security Council, asking them why they had opened what is usually a closed debate on the issue of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, making it a public debate. And also went on to say, with a major crisis brewing between Russia and the Ukraine, shouldn't the focus be on that? And just a reminder, Russia is the current chair of the UN Security Council. In other more positive news, Israel's President Herzog landed in Greece earlier today. He has met with Greek leaders, and he went on to stress that the importance of building a strategic partnership with Greece and various other countries in the Mediterranean, saying we are working towards a secure Mediterranean area. He also went on to raise Israel's concerns about the situation in the Ukraine, but did not mention Russia. The president went on to say that he hopes the situation will be sorted out peacefully soon. And our final story, and can you believe it's still news, Israel will be ending our state of emergency status as per the coronavirus pandemic on the 1st of March. We will be downgrading that status to a special health situation. And just a reminder that on the 1st of March there will be a significant easing of more restrictions. The green passport will no longer be used, and non-vaccinated visitors of all ages will be allowed into the country, pending, of course, negative PCR tests. So as we all watch the Ukraine with a lot of concern, and I'm sure that you're watching this now, join me in praying and hoping for a peaceful solution to this conflict very, very soon. And just a reminder that I'm Rolene Marks. This is the Israel Brief, and join me again next week as I bring you those top stories Monday to Thursday rather. Shabbat Shalom. Have a safe and healthy weekend wherever you are.